disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's go quiet.
Rowdy, we get rowdy, rowdy. Rowdy, we get rowdy, rowdy.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Welcome, everybody, to Dueling Aces for Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, in our new slot with our new ace in Mr. Sam Nelson.
Sort of. Kind of.
Mr. Bruiser, Mr. Zolt, how are we this evening?
I feel like ace is kind of a lofty term. He's more like a single A prospect right now. Not real sure what he's got.
And first, frankly, I need to apologize. Not to you guys. I don't care. I need to apologize to those people that I've been telling incorrect information to. My understanding was we were trading George for Sam. Sorry, everybody.
Wow.
George is still here. It's my bad.
At least through May. There's a couple days in June that I will, I believe I will be missing, but due to some baseball conflictions. But yeah, well played, Zolt. Well played.
Thank you.
Well, I sat there a couple weeks ago and said, yeah, this crap ain't going to happen. Well, it sort of happened. So we're going to get right into it. Bruiser was 100% on the nose going, he'll have it done before the regular season's over. And he was correct.
Hold on. Stop the presses. That is 2 weeks in a row that you have said I'm right. Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling just fine.
Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling just fine.
Who are you and what have you done with George? And how much do we have to pay you to keep him?
Kaylee's like, wow, Zolt, thanks a lot.
Like I said, I was hopeful.
And it was cool though. I missed the moment. I missed it happen live, but I did go back and like rewatch the game, and then I thought it was. There were a bunch of people on Twitter and other places who were complaining that they stopped the game, did the whole ceremony, and then went back and finished the game up. And I'm sorry, but I think that's how you have to do it in that moment. Like that is a huge deal.
And they did it when
announced that.
Yeah,
they had announced it like days before that. Hey, when this happens, we're gonna stop the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why people would get upset with that. I mean, that's like literally. Are you gonna see that again?
Nope.
I mean, we talked about it before. No. Maybe.
Well, I was gonna say, so far twice in my lifetime, I've seen it happen.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but the Gordie Howe one was much. That was a lower goal total.
Yeah, it was 5. There you go. I came prepared, boys. I came prepared. Yes, the goal total was 544.
No, it wasn't. It was 801.
No.
Yes.
You just said when Gordie Howe broke it, it was a lower goal total.
No, when Gretzky broke Gordie Howe.
Okay, to clarify, because you said
I did clarify. You just
you said Gordie Howe.
No, I said when they broke Gordie Howe's.
You want me and
New
Zolt to leave?
show, same as the old show.
Should me and Zolt just leave?
No. When Gretzky broke House, it was a lower total. That's still two seasons worth of goals that Gretzky scored after that. For someone to break 895, and let's be honest, Ovechkin may have 1 or 2 years left.
I think by the time the playoffs are through, he'll have 900.
Well, here's my question. Does he hit the 4 digits?
I think he does.
105.
How old is he?
39.
39.
Ageless. He is ageless, sir. Did you see him out there?
Dude,
Okay.
that's why I'm asking. How old is he?
I want to play hypothetical with you. Let's say he does hit 1,000. Let's say he hits 1,000. Is he greater than Gretzky? Is there a new great one?
Okay, let me ask this because I follow hockey not clearly as much as you do. Ovechkin, I'm just asking this one. Ovechkin has 1 cup.
Correct.
How many? And Gretzky has how many?
4.
Okay, I was just asking. I'm not trying to say that's what's going to determine it, but I was just asking for curiosity.
How many teams did Gretzky play on?
3?
I want to say 3.
Oilers,
Kings, Blues.
St. Louis Blues, and then the Rangers. 4.
Okay, 4. I knew it was at least 3. I didn't know he played for the Blues. The other 3 I know.
Yeah,
Ovechkin's done
the Blues was a cup of coffee.
Ovechkin has done all of this in 20 years in the league with two lockout seasons, 2 COVID shortened seasons, and on 1 team.
And to be fair, getting traded to LA was not Gretzky's idea.
I'm not saying it was, but you can't. There's something to be said for Ovechkin having the opportunity to go to a different team. It's not like the Capitals have been world burners the entire 20 years that he has been there. It took a while to get there. And so for him to have not left, to have stayed there, to have built that franchise to what it is, to have won a cup there, and then set the record, to me that puts him above Gretzky.
And they said that there is no other player who, from his rookie year to now, no other player is even on this squad.
Right.
Ovechkin is literally the franchise.
He's the last of the Mohicans.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like how Bruiser said, I mean, and the cup that he won was recent. It isn't like it was like half the career, won the cup, half the career. He has been there for a long time before they got over that hump. And it took them a long time to get over that. So it's not like it's been all, like Bruiser said, it hasn't always been great times for him in Washington. But also, the one thing I do want to say, when it comes to longevity, someone go tell LeBron this is what real longevity is. When you're allowed to actually play a sport where you actually get hit by other people.
And not flop.
I think if we ever talk about longevity in terms of the greatest athletes of all time, I would put Ovi over him all day. All day.
And it says Alex has 1 year remaining left on his current contract, which expires next year's season.
Because he's really going to go somewhere.
Right. Yeah, right.
Not to take away from the Gretzky versus Ovechkin, but how stunning is it? 1 goal difference, exact same number of games.
That's crazy.
Isn't that that is insane?
It's the exact same number of games, but it's also it it would have been more for Ovechkin had they not had the 2 lockout seasons and the 2 COVID years.
And again, if we're talking best player ever, I'm still going to go Gretzky all day, every day, just because of the assists.
I understand that. I disagree with you because I think Lemieux was a better player than Gretzky.
Okay.
I just think Gretzky had better numbers. I really, really would have liked to have seen what the 90s would have looked like if Lemieux hadn't gotten cancer.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd have been
Yeah, that would
there.
have been. That would have
There'd
been.
have
That
been
would have
some.
been
There'd have been a
great.
number of finals where it would have been L.A. and Pittsburgh, and that'd have been a lot of fun.
Yes, that would have been Magic and Bird kind of comparison.
By the way, how great was it that Patrick Waugh, one of the greatest goalies of all time, is the Islanders' coach
I love it. I
and
love
was
it.
there because
Yep.
Gretzky scored on Waugh.
Yeah, I think they also said Ovechkin had 5 on Waugh too.
And Ovechkin had 5
Yeah.
on Waugh.
And I was like, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know it pains Detroit people, but I love my buddy Tommy. When I moved up to Detroit, and he was the dude who taught me all about hockey, and it was like, yeah, I like the goalies. The goalies are cool.
Hey,
Osgood,
I
loved Osgood,
I
Hasek, and Waugh. Those are my top 3 dudes.
I love any player that can put up 5 on Patrick Wall. I wish more would have done it.
Speaking of goalies, the other thing that I wanted to that really, as a Penguins fan, the Capitals have been a thorn in our side for a very long time. Ovechkin especially. But it did my guy a solid the other night. It was the last time that the Capitals were playing the Wild. And the Caps won and they were leaving the ice. And Ovechkin went down the tunnel and got all of them and brought them back onto the ice to salute Marc-Andre Fleury. And I thought that was a big deal.
Yeah, that is.
Like he makes it really hard to hate him. He really does.
I don't know anybody that hates him, and frankly, how can you look at the amount of passion he has for the sport and the game and hate him
Oh,
for it?
I hate him in a fan of an opposing team. I'm going to respect the hell out of you, but I really, really hope you whiff every goal you shoot on like that kind of hate. I don't. He is a great ambassador for the sport. He is somebody that when he hangs his skates up, you could take him anywhere and he is instantly recognizable as one of your greatest stars of all time. And you could generate any type of interest that you need off of him being there.
For sure. I mean, you've got those generational superstars, and he is just that. I mean, it was really tough, when you had Gretzky and Lemieux, and Waugh, Brodeur, and all these guys start, retiring off, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, who's next? Alex was definitely one of them.
I mean, you had that
And
from 2003 to 2006. You had that class of Crosby and Ovechkin and Kane and Connor McDavid was around there somewhere. I think he was, what was he, 2010? 2009, 2010?
thought he was a little newer than that. I can check. Yeah, because like right now you got McDavid. Oh, there it is. Do, 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 do. Come on.
I mean, I can't think of anybody that's worthwhile from the Flyers in the
20,
last
20,
years.
yeah, 2015.
That's not even a joke. There hasn't been much for a while.
No,
I-
20. Yeah, McDavid was 2015.
That's still that's still 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the. I mean, it's a while ago.
no, but it's still, you're still that's, you're not far off at all. No, you're right.
So I mean, you the by the way, Gretzky showing appreciation to the ref, the Islanders booing them, and then Gretzky immediately like calming the situation down again. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was funny.
The crowd, the New York look as it. I know Sam is in Philadelphia, and there's a love, hate, love, whatever between Philly and New York because they're similar cities. However, the New York fans sitting there chanting "OV, OV" was amazing.
Yeah, you could hear it through the broadcast of, dang, that had to be pretty loud
Oh,
in
yeah.
that arena.
And the young goalie for the Islanders going to the Capitals locker room after the game and giving Ovechkin his stick, I thought was a class move. Like the whole thing, just class. The whole thing.
I didn't even know about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
The
I think-
entire situation was just handled as close to perfect as you can for an unscripted event.
Hey, Gary Bettman got one right this time.
Let's calm down. He didn't get in the way.
That's what I mean. He got one right. The George, the young goalie, the goalie from the Islanders gave Ovi his stick, and Ovi, I think, traded him a jersey. Traded him a sweater.
That's cool.
Which that oh my God, that would be a trivia. Like who I would like to know who Gretzky scored the record breaking goal on, and then
802.
yeah, I wonder who Gretzky scored 802 on.
I was gonna say, and I watched the video because they had the coinciding videos with each other, and wow, all I gotta say is, boy, TV broadcasting cameras, man, stuff's come a long way because it was pretty digi blocky when I was watching.
Here's the thing: when
wow,
when Ovechkin shot that, when he shot that wrist shot from the top of the circle, when he shot that, I thought he went wide with it.
yeah, I didn't even see it.
It went right over. It went right over the goalie's would have been left skate, like right over top of it and into the back corner.
Yeah, because I agree with you because and even watching it on the replay, I'm sitting there going, dude, it looked like he just whiffed it. And it's like, nope, it went in. I was like, okay. No, and the painting, that artwork right there, I thought that was pretty smooth too.
That's slick.
I was like, that was pretty cool.
So in my lifetime, I have seen a third driver hit 7 championships in NASCAR with Jimmy Johnson. He won 5 in a row, which is never done before. It probably won't be done since. I watched Barry Bonds beat Hank Aaron's record. I watched Roger Maris's record fall twice.
Mm-hmm.
Gretzky's record fall. What's the next it'll never happen record that's going to fall before we kick the bucket? Is it the rushing record in football?
I could
Well,
see that.
that
I mean,
was.
he came damn close.
I was gonna say it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Look who found us, Sam. He's not far
What's up,
removed from
Dustin?
last night. What's up, Dustin? Welcome to Dueling Aces. Glad you could join us.
And to fill in
Where
the
if
blank,
any NFL wide receiver debate happens, all of us just leave. Let George have it. Everyone just leave.
to fill in the blank, Gretzky scored his 802nd against Kirk McLean of Vancouver.
Ooh.
Not
know
really
that
McLean's
one.
fault. It was a 2-on-1 with McSorley. Gretzky passed it to McSorley. McLean went out and challenged McSorley, and he just gave it back, and Gretzky dunked it.
Emmitt Smith's career rushing mark. Well, Dustin, I was gonna say we almost had it happen. Saquon could have had it if he really wanted it. He could have had it.
He could have had the single season. Dustin's talking about the career rushing mark.
Career 18,355. I'm looking for active player on this list.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's
who on the active players close.
Okay, so it's Derrick Henry. He's about 7,000 yards shy right now.
Ooh, I don't know. Don't know about that.
That'd be a long way to go.
Yes, it is a very long way to go. But Dustin's right. The running backs are not until the shift of and it goes into it's like a roller coaster ride. There's a good period of time where the running backs are utilized again, and then they're not, and then they are, and then they're not.
I mean, technically behind that, you've got Zeke, who is still active.
Is he?
Really?
Yeah, kind of.
Is he really?
Even I'm not going to acknowledge that one.
Joe Mixon is about just over 10,500 behind. Saquon is only a couple hundred behind that. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
That's a
I don't.
That is very interesting.
I mean, I don't know because there's like I thought that the point record in the NBA wouldn't have fallen, and that did.
Well, that's because nobody plays defense anymore.
Yeah.
But that's also factual.
I mean, I had to have that argument in the car with Bryce again, and then Bryce turns around and goes, "Yeah, well," he goes, "but look at the championships LeBron's at." I says, "Yeah, but he had to go to 3 different teams and do it, and he had to go to super teams. Michael Jordan didn't go to super teams. He had one solid, balanced team. He didn't have to make super teams to win it. He's still debating it."
Some people just don't know. You had to have been
No.
there.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, they don't play defense anymore. I said, you can't. I said, if you brought Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird all into today's game, you know how many points they would just go bonkers with? You bring in Scottie Pippen, Stockton, you bring all those guys. Oh, yeah, let them let them have it. Really?
Yeah.
I would just like to see. Let's take Mr. Laker out there, put him back in those days. I would just want to see him play the Pistons with Lambeer and all them. I would just love to. I don't think he would be in the league for 5 years.
I think LeBron would be
Year
pretty.
left.
I think LeBron in the 90s against the Pistons would be successful because
Not the level
LeBron is big and can be physical. He doesn't have to be. He can be. He doesn't have to be.
I was going to say, if we're going back to when the Piston players, let's talk about the physical ones like Lambeer, Rodman, were in their primes, then you also have to throw LeBron in his prime up
Yeah.
against them.
Yeah.
I think he would match up well. It would really depend what kind of team he's got around him.
That's right.
Oh, ask Mike how that worked.
Right.
I would put LeBron on the Utah Jazz with Malone and Stockton.
Ooh.
Huh.
That's kind of fun.
That's interesting. Wow, that would be.
Because you got Malone at center, you put LeBron at point, let him get down in the paint and get mean.
Yeah. They have Stockton just diming them both up.
Yep.
I don't know.
I like it when I can say shit that makes George think.
Well, because
If he smoked,
Isaiah's going to sit there on Stockton, but you got Vinny and you got Joe D on LeBron. I don't know. I think I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Joe D. I'm leaning a lot more, I think, towards Joe Dumars on LeBron.
That's fine. But you put LeBron with Stockton and Malone on those Jazz teams from the mid to late 90s.
I know, and I'm like
there's
I said,
nobody better.
I'm throwing those Pistons right in there. That's that group of Pistons. I know. I lived there at that time, so I know. I got to see it firsthand, and I'm sitting there going, "Damn, okay." Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, because right behind Joe D is Rodman, and Rodman was a dirty player. Ooh, it would be. I think it would be uglier in the paint with LeBron and LeBron. It would basically be LeBron versus Rodman, and then Lambeer will be sandwiching him from the other side. It would be very physical.
I'd like to see a fist fight between LeBron and Rodman because it would happen.
I don't doubt that one bit. Zolt, you can attest to that. I don't doubt it one bit.
Look, I'm just saying, Malone, Lambeer, you need a bell and ring girls. That's that's man.
Or I'm putting if you want to grab LeBron in his prime and time machine him back to the 90s, let me put him on the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller.
Ooh.
I hated that team enough already.
Yeah.
Now he hates him even more. For a hypothetical scenario.
Anthony, the answer is yes.
Yeah, that's that. I think
because I have numbers.
Yeah.
And with the way the NFL is, absolutely.
Though at the current rate of the NFL, yeah, that's easy.
No.
There are three teams that I think LeBron, if you transported him back in time to the 90s, would be successful on and would probably surpass Jordan. The Utah Jazz, the Indiana Pacers, and the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing.
That's just scary.
I just feel the Knicks are always destined to fail, but that's me.
Well, they usually are, so.
Yeah.
They usually are, but man, you got Ewing and LeBron. Oh. Although it would be fun to see him play in Orlando with Penny Hardaway and Shaq.
Yeah,
that would just be the most physically
that would've
intimidating
been-
team ever.
Yeah, wow, Bruiser,
You've
that's
got
a good one. Bruiser,
you've got
that's a good one. I like that.
you got 6'8", 250 running at you full steam, and then you got 7 foot.
Wait, I forgot one because we always forget them. Always,
San
because
Antonio.
San Antonio with David Robinson,
Yep, I was just about to bring them up. I was
or
like,
Houston with Akeem Olajuwon.
Damn it, Bruiser! I was going to say that. Damn it! I was going to bring that up too. That would be because I think the one thing that people tend to forget now because he's almost 40 is how good and versatile LeBron was in his prime as a defender, especially when he was in Miami, when Miami's best big man was Chris Bosh, who was like a pencil. So LeBron sometimes had to guard 1 through 5. You put that kind of guy next to Akeem, that's just defensively, that's not fair.
When you like, the NBA has definitely gotten smaller as a league, size wise. Maybe not height wise, but definitely size wise. So
Oh, yeah.
you put a guy like LeBron, who's massive now, but back in say 94 to 98 would have been average to slightly above average in size. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
have all that talent and speed and raw athleticism. Like, he's just going to eat people alive.
yeah, I think him and Dwight Howard, I think, are the last of kind of like those big men out there.
I would like to see, just with the technology that we have and stuff now, I would love to find a way to like digitize peak LeBron and put him into a video game with he would pass Jordan.
I was gonna say, Jimmy, I think he would.
But I would love to see like LeBron on the 80s Lakers against Bird in those Celtics teams, just to see what like those games could have turned out to be like.
That'd be interesting.
I think so. Everybody says you can't compare eras, and while I agree to a certain extent, I think LeBron's skill set transcends, because if you watch LeBron play, he reminds me a lot of Oscar Robertson with the way that he plays. Robertson was 6'5", played a bigger style and was a little bit more physically aggressive. I think LeBron's style you could take and plug and put into any era and he would be successful.
I don't disagree.
Where's Suds? We're talking basketball.
Hey, Bruiser, since we took a pause here for a second, you got the D6 handy?
Yes.
Give me a minute. I will have one handy.
No worries.
The research department, we're putting that.
Here's a good question. And now people like how Bruiser's saying about, he thinks you could put LeBron in that era and he would still flourish. I somewhat agree because, like he said, he's just a physical specimen. Like, so for all the people that are like, oh, well, he would have to go against Scottie Pippen. Yes, that's true. But Scottie Pippen would also have to guard him. It's not like LeBron is very easy to guard. But now, here's a really good. Do you think, like, just a throw out name here because they're kind of like up in the same age now? They got the same amount of rings. Do you think Curry would successfully succeed like he does? He can in the 90s? Do you think Curry would survive in the 90s?
I was gonna say you're looking at.
All right, Zolt. Caduceus, Laudna, or Grog?
Grog.
Two.
Interesting. Okay, give me a moment.
Oh man. Yeah, that's I don't know if you could, because I mean, well, Curry's quicker. See, that's the thing, is he is faster, but I mean,
He's to
I'd
me.
compare him to Stockton.
I'd rather have Stockton.
I just gonna say, I think you could probably do that comparison, but
There is a
I
dip.
mean,
Okay, hold
Isaiah
on.
Thomas would beat the shit out of him.
Speaking of John Stockton, I just bought a pair of John Stockton style shorts to wear to the gym.
Well, all right. So let me say this: there's a difference between a point guard and someone who plays point guard who can shoot. Like today, Curry to me is not a point guard. He plays
No, he's
the
a
position,
shooting
but he's
guard.
not.
That
Well,
was
well, the reason I'm talking about this because when you walked away, I asked, "Do you think?" Now you said you could plug LeBron in the '90s, and because of what a physical specimen he is, he would succeed. I asked
Yes.
you, could you make this case for someone like Curry? Because I don't think Curry puts up near the shooting numbers he does now. Because back then you were allowed to defend people.
Curry reminds me of somebody like Spud Webb from Charlotte in the 90s, who was quick and could get on the perimeter and shoot well. He reminds me of BJ Armstrong. I think it's Armstrong from the Bulls.
Yep.
You know, small, quick, real. You know, get the ball out. Would he be successful? Probably. Would he be what he is now? No. I think
Yeah.
he'd be a role player.
yeah.
I would agree with that.
He would be a less successful Pippen.
That's a good point because he's nowhere near as skilled as Pippen in terms of everything else. Like he ain't defending nobody. Because back then, when you couldn't in the NBA back then, if you couldn't defend, you rarely. If you played 15 minutes a night, if that. Like,
You know what? I take that back. He's not a less successful Pippen. He is the Timu version of Penny Hardaway.
fair assessment. Because like I'll throw you a name that I'm talking about when it comes to defenders. Let's just go like not 90s, but like mid 2000s to early 2010s. Look at someone like, because back then when you were like a great 3-point shooter, you weren't a great player. You were a specialist.
Just a little bit.
Like that's back then when you were like an elite. Most elite shooters back then there weren't many. Like, all right, yes, you had your Reggies and your Ray Allen, but there are literally guys now in the NBA making hundreds of millions of dollars because they can shoot 40% from three, but they can't do anything else.
Allen Houston is a drop dead comparison. There's your comparison.
That's a good comparison.
I was like, I know he's a Nick. It's like I could see him, I just couldn't figure him out. Is Allen Houston.
I'll give you another name who you could pull out of the 2000s and 2010s and drop into the 90s and it would have been successful because he reminds me of Isaiah Thomas. Allen Iverson.
I can agree with that.
They're two complete jerk offs. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
it would work.
hey.
It would work.
Hey.
Hey, I've met Isaiah Thomas in person. Complete jackwagon.
I don't care about the personalities. I'm talking on the basketball court.
Oh, I'm talking about on the basketball court too. Oh, I know.
He's not. He saw them walk out on the Bulls that one time. Hasn't gotten over it.
Oh no, I have had many opportunities on and off said court, and have had privilege to have my butt ran over by him the couple of times at the JCC that I got to play against said person. So, yeah.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes, sir, we are. What you got for us this evening, sir?
NFL franchise single season receiving touchdown leaders. And
Well,
I'm throwing this out there right now. I ain't never heard of a couple of these guys.
I was gonna say we can plug
And-
Mr. Rice in right off the rip. That's kind of obvious.
Okay.
And we got a couple people, it says here, huh? Couple people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let me-
and I, as hints, if requested, I can give you the year.
Okay.
I want to take a guess at Cleveland.
Ooh.
Okay.
I want to say it's either Eric Metcalf or Braylon Edwards.
Jeez, I
Edwards.
cannot type today.
Braylon Edwards, there's a name.
Go blue.
Yeah.
Detroit is
trying-
obviously Megatron. Pittsburgh
Alright.
is Hines Ward?
Pittsburgh is not Hines Ward.
Really?
What? It's not. Wait. Where's all right? 50. It's not AB, is it?
Sorry, where are we at? Pittsburgh still?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Antonio Brown, is it?
It is.
Okay.
Is it-
All right? Let me take a stab at Philly real quick because it's driving me nuts. I wanted to. Was it the year that the full year TO was there? Okay.
Was Indianapolis Marvin Harrison?
Man, we're knocking off.
Y'all are getting the low hanging fruit.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're knocking off a lot of that low hanging fruit.
Is Houston Andre Johnson?
Hang on. Houston. It is not Andre Johnson.
Is it Hopkins?
Is Dallas?
It is.
It was one or the other.
Is Dallas also TO?
Dallas is not
No.
also TO.
That's Irving. It's Michael. No.
Not Michael Irvin.
No.
Ooh.
All right.
Amari Cooper?
Is not Amari Cooper.
Get the fuck out of here, Amari Cooper. Is Arizona Fitzgerald?
No.
Hmm.
In fact, I'm going to give you the year for Arizona.
Okay.
1960.
Oh, boy.
Damn. Whoa. Okay.
You want me to just fill that one in?
Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, and there's Jimmy's guess at Atlanta.
Julio
I
for
didn't.
Atlanta. It was not Julio.
Is not Mr. Jones.
Was it? I'm gonna say that. Was it the guy before Julio? Was it Roddy White?
I was gonna
Not Roddy White.
not.
I
Roddy
didn't
White,
think
did
so. Hold on, real quick. Let me just point out that George, for a fact, after my show last night, I knew for a fact it wasn't Julio Jones.
Right. Which begins us to get to the Vikings with Randy Moss.
Okay. In fact, he hit 17 twice with them. But there's also another name. So I'm going to put the dash there.
Chris Carter.
Hold please. I broke it.
He broke it.
He broke.
Is
he
it
broke it.
Carter?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It is Carter. Okay.
Is Randy Moss also New England?
Yep.
I was gonna say we better. It's like put
Wait.
him up on that one.
So wait, is one of Cincinnati's Jamar Chase?
It is. It's one of the two that happened this past season.
Oh shit! All right.
Is Vegas Marcus Allen?
It is not.
No.
And in fact,
Tim
the
Brown.
Raiders, it is not
be-
Tim Brown. The
Really?
Raiders happened 1963.
Go ahead and fill that one in too.
Oh yeah, holy crap!
Okay.
I'm not that old. Yeah, you're gonna have to fill that one in. Art Hall,
I'm gonna
okay.
take a stab at Carolina and say Steve Smith.
No.
Wow, all right. I suck at this.
I was gonna say no. That's not a bad guess. I would have.
It's not a bad
That's a
guess.
great guess.
Carolina, yeah, that's a great guess because Carolina and Jacksonville both haven't been around that long. So, that was a
Okay.
great
got a-
guess for Carolina.
I got a
And
question.
We have a request here for year for the Titans. 1961.
I'm out.
Oh, well, that's
Okay.
the Houston Oilers at that point.
Right.
Good.
Sam, what's
Well,
your
I
guess?
was gonna ask.
Jimmy, good luck with that.
I was gonna ask for the Rams. Were they the LA Rams or the St. Louis Rams?
Oh, hold please.
What year?
I would
What year?
literally have to look it up. It
What
may
year?
predate that.
What's the year? Just give me the year.
1951.
Oh,
Oh,
hell
good
no!
God.
Never mind.
I was gonna say the Rams in '51, were they almost the Cleveland Rams at that time? Jesus.
No, they wouldn't have been because Cleveland came
it
into the
would've
league
been-
in '46.
That's right. It would have been. Yeah, that would have been before that.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Jimmy's like, I got nothing. It's like,
God, what's his name? He was up for induction in the Hall of Fame. He was receiver in Seattle in the '80s, and I can't remember his damn name.
Steve Largent.
Largent.
Hang on, we're looking for Seattle.
Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah, with 14.
Not Largent.
What year was Seattle?
2015.
Tyler
Doug
Lockett.
Baldwin.
Okay.
Lockett or
One of you
Baldwin?
got it.
Baldwin. Mr. Doug Baldwin. Ah,
I don't think Lockett was there yet in 2015, was he?
yeah.
Is
He was.
sorry, Sam.
No, go ahead.
Denver, is one of Denver's Shannon Sharp?
No.
Is one of them Demaryius Thomas?
Good
Yes.
guess. Good guess. Good guess.
Sorry, they literally
I'm
just have the
rolling.
last name because there's two of them, and I had to think.
Wow, that Carolina one, man, I thought it was Steve Smith too.
I'm gonna take a stab at. I'm just gonna. Is Tampa Mike Evans or?
Okay.
Is Baltimore Steve Smith?
Hang on. Why am I not? Oh, they're there. No.
Huh.
Because he was pretty successful there too.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, but we're gonna take a quick time out here, and I'm just gonna give you Chicago because there's two of them, one in 1947, the other in 1970.
All right, George, give me the 1947 one. You should know.
Hey, KMA.
He wouldn't know the 1947 one. He was only in diapers then. Back when you could go to opening day for a plug nickel and some soda bottle caps.
Hey, listen. You could go to an Indians game in the 70s for a quarter. Shut up.
Yeah, back then $70 could have got you like 10 years of season tickets.
God.
I saw that when Adam posted that in the chat earlier. That's ridiculous.
I heard that there were some other spots in downtown charging $100.
That's ridiculous.
Where Anthony? Where?
Okay, so what year is Atlanta? Because the Atlanta ones drive me nuts.
1993.
Oh, get the hell out of here!
Ooh.
I wasn't even born yet.
What?
Wait a minute. What?
I graduated the year before.
Sam, what year were you born?
96.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like having Clint on.
I was 14 when you were born. Jesus.
I graduated already.
Anthony's question is Charlie Washington. I don't know. Is Charlie Washington? Washington is not Charlie. I can tell you that.
No,
Washington Art Monk.
No, not Art Monk.
is Washington a wide receiver by the last name of Charlie?
No.
Okay.
What year is Washington?
It's the wrong question.
Is Washington Santana Moss?
No. Washington is
way.
2024.
Oh, Scary Terry.
Warren?
Really?
Get the
What? Art Monk. How many did Monk have then? Jesus.
What year is Carolina?
2004.
Oh
Almost
shit!
infancy.
And it's not Steve Smith. That's crazy. That I'm not gonna
It
forget.
was the year they went to the Super Bowl. It was a white kid. I can't remember his name.
I was 8.
They went to the Super Bowl because I found out on Super Bowl Sunday that Christina was pregnant with Madison.
Oh my god.
Let me just throw my head into this brick wall back here, because I'm just.
He wants to go back to 1947.
Shut up, Sam. Why can't I remember? I think Bruiser's right too, and I can't remember the kid's name. God, that's annoying. It's just as bad as I know. I'm gonna kick myself for the Green Bay guy. And there's 2 of them.
I'm going to guess on one of the Giants and say OBJ.
I'm going to take another stab. I'm going to take a stab at the other Giants. I don't know why, but is it Plaxico Burress?
No, in fact, the other giant was 1967.
God
Jesus.
damn it.
Good God.
How about the fact that in Buffalo's history, nobody has scored more than 11 touchdowns in a season as a receiver?
Is one of them Stephon Diggs?
Yes.
Is the other one BB?
Well, the other one's 1995. It's not Don Beebe. It's not Don Beebe.
Isaac Bruce?
No.
Good guess.
Isaac
By the way,
Bruce
hold on.
was the Rams. Isaac Bruce was the Rams.
Half Hill's in the chat. And he says hello. We got to give a big congratulations to Half Hill. He won the state championship this weekend for powerlifting for the USPA.
Oh, well, bravo.
Congratulations.
Bravo. Isaac Bruce would be the Rams. And we already got that guy.
We already got the Rams.
We already got the
Yeah.
Rams.
Wasn't there a Bruce who was in Buffalo?
Bruce Smith played defense.
All right. I'm going to take a stab at Kansas City. Is one of them Dwayne Bowe?
Yes. In fact, the first one was Dwayne Bowe.
Now, hold on. Is the other Kansas City one recent, or is it back in like 1893?
No. Dwayne Bowe did it in 2010. The other one has been since then.
Is it Hill?
Yes.
Is Duper the Miami one?
No.
Ooh. Damn. Wow.
When was New Orleans?
New Orleans 2013. And Anthony is Julio Jones, the Falcons. He is not.
No.
Is the other Buffalo Andre Reed?
No, it is not. That's a good guess, though.
That's a great guess.
I was trying to think of those 90s Buffalo Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
Is the Saints Marcus Colston?
No, it is not.
That I was gonna say that starts that kind of run right there. Because it isn't Michael Thomas. He hasn't been healthy enough to stay in for a whole season.
Green Bay had to be under Favre and one had to be under Rodgers.
I believe you are correct. Yes.
So
You want years?
it's
Not Devontae Adams, is it?
He's
Well-
one of them.
Adams would be
Oh.
one. The Favre one would be
Donald Driver.
yeah.
Is not Donald Driver.
Good guess.
Oh. It's not Sharp, is it? No, Sharp. Was it Sharp?
Yup.
Really? All right. Okay.
Nice job. Good job. Good job.
What
Wait,
year?
New
What
Orleans.
year is
There's a-
Miami? What year? Is
That was a team effort there, by the way.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What year is
Sorry.
Miami's?
Miami is 1984.
So I'm right in the ballpark.
And question from chat, is the Saints a wide receiver or a tight end? Now, why would I make it that easy on you guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Is it Jimmy Graham?
It is.
right. I was gonna say that right there just gave it away that it was Jimmy. Yep.
The only guy
Well
I
played.
totally
Well
referred
played,
to.
Anthony. Well played.
Thanks,
you for the
Anthony.
cheat. That was a total
No,
cheat code
because-
moment right there.
Here's the thing. From like 2010, before they drafted Michael Thomas, the only reliable receiver they had was Marquise Colston, so I knew it wasn't a wide receiver unless you think little 5'8" Lance Moore was going to do it.
Duper, Duper and Clayton are the only Miami receivers I can think of. So it's Clayton. Okay, they're both named Mark. So
Right.
What,
All right.
So what
they
year
were
was
both
that?
Mark. I'm like, it's Mark one way or the other. It's Duper and Clayton. That was it.
What
All
year
right,
is
I'm
what?
going to take a
Oh, Sam, go ahead. Take a guess, and then I'll give you a year.
I'm going to hate myself and take a stab at Jacksonville here. Is it Allen Robinson?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's the only one.
Okay.
Really.
Bruiser, what year were you
State, baby.
looking for?
What year is Dallas?
Dallas. Dallas is 2014.
Dead.
14. That's
So Romo would have been the
fine.
quarterback.
Romo.
It's Des Bryant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Carolina. We got Atlanta. Two of them for the Chargers. I'll give you the first one because it's 1965.
Ew.
Antonio Gates.
Not Antonio Gates.
Not Gates.
Vincent
Really?
Jackson.
Um.
All right, Sam, what'd you say?
I said, is the other one for the Chargers Vincent Jackson?
It is not.
What year is it?
1996.
Never mind.
96.
Yes.
I just sprouted. That's not happening. Are the Jets recent, or am I going to be
Okay,
going to?
one here. I'll give you the first one for the Jets because that's 1965. The other one is 2015.
2015? Who the hell was? Oh wait, was Eric Decker on the Jets?
That's not who it is.
Brandon
Anthony
Marshall.
Marshall.
Yeah. Okay, Anthony's looking for the Ravens year 1996.
And almost their first. So he was an ex-Cleveland Brown then.
That's not Ozzie Newsome, is it?
It is not.
Okay. I was going to say that was going to be my first guess because it's an ex-Cleveland Brown. Which would have been, oh God.
Metcalf, Newsome.
No, Metcalf never went to the Ravens. He went to the Chargers. He never made it to Baltimore. He ended up in San Diego. Oh, who was the damn. Now he got me thinking though because Metcalf went over to Atlanta too. And
Metcalf would have been the Atlanta one.
no.
Gazole said that was 94.
It was 94. Yeah. Oh my God! But 96 Baltimore. Think who the hell else? Michael Jackson was on the squad. Um,
You already got it.
oh, was it
Hey,
Michael Jackson? Really?
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
wow!
So we're down
Thriller,
Wow!
to
thriller.
That is sad. That is sad, ladies and gentlemen. That it had to be an ex-Cleveland Brown.
All
In the,
right. So
oh
we've
my
got
God!
Carolina in the year 2004, and we've got the Falcons 1993.
93. Ricky
Uh,
Prohl.
This is not Ricky Prohl. I hate Ricky Prohl. I don't even remember why.
just do for some
It
reason.
just
I don't know why, but I can't stand that.
Eminem. Oh, Eminem is Musa Muhammad. Yes. Oh, I don't have to put my head through the brick wall now. Woo. Zolt, I'm
But not
telling you, man, dude, this is too much work. My brain hurts. 93 Falcons. Man, 93. 93.
94.
no, it's 93.
He said
93.
93.
It's 93. I and I'll give a hint, but this is kind of a maybe hint, and it's either going to immediately give it to you or I'm way off base. I believe within a year or two after this, he was in the news because his girlfriend burnt their house down.
Andre Rison.
I was going to say, Bad Moon Rising.
The moment you
Yep.
said
Your
he was
girlfriend
in the
burned
news,
down-
I was like,
Yep. Yep. That was easy. We had him here too. Yep.
I think we were fairly successful on that one.
Yeah,
We did
like
really
I said,
well.
outside of this couple of dudes from the '60s, yeah,
Oh,
we were
hang
all
on,
right.
hang on. We forgot the second one from the Chargers.
Oh,
yeah.
and the Bills. Oops.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, so the second one from the Chargers is 1996. The first one from Buffalo is 1995.
Oh.
Uh, we're forgetting the second one on Denver too.
Yeah, it's Denver.
McCaffrey.
Hang on a second. It's no. It's
Well,
not
hey,
McCaffrey.
I took a
It's-
stab at it.
I didn't mean that as you're an idiot.
I was gonna say Ed McCaffrey. It would have been Ed McCaffrey.
we've already guessed
Cincinnati
Andre
also.
Reed, and it was not Andre Reed, Dustin.
We're also forgetting the second on Cincinnati too.
All right,
Chris
I'm gonna have to
Collinsworth on
go back to the sheet.
Cincinnati. Or you
No.
said both of them were this year.
No. I said you got the one that was from this year. The other one for Cincinnati is 1995.
That would have been Boomer Esiason. He's a QB.
Same thing actually with Denver. The first one is 1995. That was a big year because you had
Is-
Cincinnati, Denver, and Buffalo, all of them 1995.
I'm going. So I'm looking at the Four Falls of Buffalo, like who all was interviewed for the. Because I don't want to go look at the rosters because that's cheating.
Right.
But
Right.
but that was in that Super Bowl stretch. Is Bill Brooks one of them? Ah!
Yay!
There you go.
All right.
By the way, if you have not watched that 30 for 30, the Four Falls of Buffalo, it's really good.
yeah.
I know it's a bit older, but like it's one of the good ones.
That describes George, a little bit older, but one of the good ones.
Cincinnati, guess.
Okay.
Dustin's hitting it.
Yeah. We got it.
Okay, so
All we have left is the Chargers and
uh,
Denver.
Steve Atwater then for Denver because it was McCaffrey and Atwater. No,
Nope.
McCaffrey, Atwater, Sharp.
You said 96?
It's 96 for the Chargers, 95 for Denver.
Okay.
McCaffrey, Atwater, Miller.
Oh wait, hang on. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Chargers or Denver?
Denver.
It was Miller.
It really Miller did over Atwater. Really? Wow, I wouldn't have thought Anthony Miller would have been. Huh. Okay. Yeah, because usually it was Atwater or McCaffrey. I was thinking, damn. Okay. Um. I know the Chargers. I bet if I just, it's like if I seen his face, I know. I don't.
96, and it wasn't Antonio Gates.
Lance Allworth. I don't.
We already have Allworth.
Lance
That's the one we
Allworth.
have.
That's the one we got.
That's put his name twice. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe he did it twice.
When did I know this is wrong, but for whatever reason, he just seems to have never aged. Was LaDainian Tomlinson wasn't in the league in '96, was he?
It wasn't him. Let's just put it that way.
But like anytime I see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand. And Dustin threw Keenan Allen in there, and Keenan Allen may have been playing back in 1996, but it is not him.
Sean Jefferson
definitely were.
Sean Jefferson? No.
All right, I give up. Let's get the last one in there.
Okay. We want the last one is a gentleman by the name of Tony Martin. I don't remember that name.
I don't either.
I don't remember that name at all.
Sounds like a guy that does.
Sounds like a number 3 receiver who got lucky.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like a tax accountant.
He said it had bet his mortgage on it.
He played in the league for 12 years. That was about midway through his career. He played for Miami, San Diego, Atlanta, Miami again, Atlanta again. Other than the year he scored 14 touchdowns or 14 receiving touchdowns. Other than that, he never broke 7.
Dustin's debating.
Yeah, but the Martin guy did it before Keenan Allen did.
I was going to say, for whatever reason, they did not list that. Hang on, I'll go back to my cheat sheet. They only list the 2, which is odd.
No, Keenan Allen didn't do it. Keenan Allen did not have 14.
No, I'm looking at his stats now.
Nope. The most he's ever had was in 2020 with 8.
Yeah.
And also his rookie year, 2013, he had 8.
Yep. In 2017, he only had 6 touchdowns, not 14. Google is wrong.
Boy, I'd have bet you your mortgage, Dustin, because you could have paid mine.
Holy cow, that's a lot to read.
Keenan Allen says I had 14 receiving touchdowns in 2017. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but
Here, hang on. I can show screen. Or you
there's
got it already? Okay.
yeah, there's your Keenan Allen stats. Sorry, no sir. Google is wrong. Nope, Keenan Allen didn't even sniff it. That did not quite work out that way.
I thought that was pretty entertaining myself. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yes.
And it
was
wasn't
really
even the
good.
horrible one.
No, not at all.
We still have the horrible one waiting for us in
Oh
the wings.
God. That came from StatMuse. Well, apparently they need
Oh.
to go back and recheck some stats because they be really off.
I checked
Even the
on the
NFL
sports.
had-
It was the same thing.
That's 2017 is the year Keenan Allen won Comeback Player of the Year. His stats for the year were 102 receptions, 1,393 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Yep. So somebody got their stats way off. Way off.
By the way, Zolt,
Yes.
I decided I'm gonna print that.
I mean, I didn't think there was a doubt.
Worth it.
So, yep, we've got a site that is totally way wrong by a large margin, 6 to 14. That's really far off.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
It does.
I mean, frankly, I thought at that last the free agency the day, I thought we did really good about not sharing junk news in that chat.
Mhm.
Usually somebody's good for one, maybe two.
Yeah,
We
for
did
sure.
really
Damned April Fool. The NFL got me on April Fools.
Yeah.
With the Browns one, I was like, that's plausible.
That was funny.
Oh,
Oh shit!
Oh, here we go. Hit us with your best shot.
Come on, Pat Benatar.
it must be a lot to type.
Can hear a pin drop in here.
As I say, we don't want to burn up too many of Zolt's fill in the blank games. We must be patient.
I got a backlog. I still got at least 5 more. Just ready to go.
You need to get a couple of baseball ones in there.
We got to be.
They haven't crossed my path yet, so maybe I need to start looking for them. Dustin, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll read it. Go ahead. Don't worry, guys. There have been 27,314 professional Major League Baseball players all time. To put that into context, it would only fill 60% of the smallest Major League Baseball stadium. That is a lie. Cleveland Stadium would not even get to 60%.
Yeah, it would.
Of the smallest stadium.
It would
the smallest stadium.
I said Cleveland is one of the smallest.
Isn't that like Sacramento right now?
I was gonna say we have the Rays playing at Steinbrenner Field in Florida, George. I'm pretty sure that.
Touche. Well, that's because their house got destroyed.
Also, Also, Progressive Field seats like 42,000.
With or without the remodel that's upcoming.
With the remodel.
With the remodel?
Yeah. Still think it's like 40. It might be 38, but it's still.
Because I knew they took out about 40,000 seats.
There wasn't 80,000 seats in that place to begin with.
Nope.
It is. It's a tiny booger. It's tiny for a reason.
It's loud. I like it.
Yes, that is true. $34,000. Said it would almost fill Cleveland. No, it wasn't going to be off by much.
Do we have anything else we got to cover?
You want to talk about AEW Dynasty on Sunday?
No, we're not. No.
What was
kidding.
wasn't there the big to do about the basketball stuff that happened this afternoon?
Oh, you mean why head coaches are getting fired for being like the 3 seed?
Yeah, that was interesting.
That is a joke. This is the second time it's happened now because the Grizzlies, and the funny thing is with the Grizzlies, when they fired Taylor Jenkins, I want to say 3 weeks ago, something around that area, they were the 5 seed. Well, now they're the 8th seed.
What is it with teams firing successful basketball coaches? Because Cleveland did it last year.
Thank you. The Pistons. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome, Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they both worked out. I mean, Atkins is doing pretty well in Cleveland, so I mean, it worked out for both.
Secondly, that is the second export from Cleveland that we have sent to Detroit. They've been successful. We would like our personnel guy back.
I think we're okay. We're good. He ain't got nothing over there to work with anyway if we send him back.
God.
There's
Lockett was visiting the Raiders
next week.
Lockett's visiting the Raiders tomorrow. If I saw that
head coaching job?
No. Tyler Lockett's visiting the Raiders. I think tomorrow. I think he's visiting them tomorrow. So I think Lockett could end up with a deal with the Raiders tomorrow.
Can we just admit?
Never mind.
Can we just admit that Keenan Allen's going to go back and run it back with the Chargers? Can we just admit that at this point? That's exactly what's going to happen. They already brought Mike Williams back.
But I mean, let's face it. Right now, I mean, a couple teams are starting up voluntary off-season programs, so nobody wants to sign right now because they might get roped into going to one of those.
Yeah.
Sam, a little message for you there, sir.
Easily one of the best Eagles off-season moves of all time is signing Zach Ball into a minimum deal and turning him into freaking maybe the second best middle linebacker in football.
And congrats to Florida on the interesting win last night. Houston choked a big chicken and whoops. I like the ghost 3-pointer, by the way, in the final seconds. That was
oh my God. Only play I watched the whole game.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, boy, that kid just went up and it's like, oh, what happened? The ghost swatted it. The ghost swat. Oops. Oh, that was brutal. That was oh my God, that was tough to watch.
Is the women's Final Four this week?
No, it was done on Sunday.
Yeah, it's done. It was done before the men's.
Yeah.
UConn won?
Yeah, they're always done just before the men's.
Because Gino Armoretta needed another trophy.
Hey, when you're building a dynasty, I mean, you go as long as you can.
What do you mean building a dynasty? I would put okay.
That dude,
I'm not being flippant here. I would put the UConn women's basketball dynasty up against any other sports dynasty as one of the greatest. It's as good, if not better than Bama's. It was as good, if not better than the Patriots when the Patriots had it going. Like, that guy gets the best out of his players every year.
I'm not disagreeing one bit. I'm not, because you're right.
And when they're not in the Final Four or not in the championship game, it's surprising.
Wait, I just realized George said that Bruiser was right again.
Twice. In one night.
I mean, you better end this show, George.
Good night, Greg.
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say good night, Grayson.
Good night.
Good night. I said say good night, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
So I said, well, flip a coin. And if it comes out heads, have your hair dyed.
And if it comes out tails, say good night, Gracie.